Alright guys, good evening. This is just to further explain the head and shoulder pattern. Yeah, I have a practical example that I saw some time ago that I saved. This is how it begins to form. You can see from the left hand side here, you can see where it started, there was a range here before the massive breakout. Remember I told us about consolidation, that when prices begin to range for long, we call it consolidation. After every consolidation comes distribution, that is the breakout. And the longer the time it takes to consolidate, the more massive it will break out. So you can see that there was a breakout. That consolidation part, that's a supply zone already. I marked it out with with my green triangle, as you can see. So I kept on watching it. Price came, and then all through here it was just ranging, ranging, ranging. And then I put my resistance line here. I discovered that there is a resistance there, both up and down. And then finally, it broke out of the resistance line. I thought it was going to keep on going down, but then it went back again into the resistance by this side. And then at that point, I realized that this is now about to form head and shoulder pattern. Now, when you see this kind of thing forming, you can see how it looks. This is the one shoulder here. This is one shoulder here. This is the head down here, and the other shoulder forms. When you see that the one shoulder has formed and one head has formed, and the other shoulder is beginning to form, just pick your entry. If it can form either like this or like this, the other way around. So it can be a bullish head and shoulder pattern or a bearish head and shoulder pattern. So when you see that it's forming, you're meant to just take your buy position from here and expect it to go. You see where this one started from, that's where I put my rectangle. That is where it's going to stop. So it will go and go and go and buy and get to that point. And if you look at, okay, this was where I first spotted it. Can you see? This was where I first spotted it. I knew that it was going to range and go up, and then later on I checked. This was what I saw before it finally went up. But unfortunately, it didn't even pick my buy limit order. But that's how it works. And then always note one thing, that after every head and shoulder pattern, there's always a massive breakout to the opposite side. For instance, after this one completes this cycle and gets to the top, when it gets to the TP, it will fall, it will break out and fall downward back. That is the rule. And most times you respect that rule. So that is head and shoulder pattern. Let me look at one other example here that I saved. Practical live trade example. Sorry, I saved one. Okay, yeah, this is it. Can you see? This was just probably last week or so. You can see the date. This was just last week, from 4th of February to 4th of March. This on 4 hours time frame. Can see this was where it started. There was a little range here before it fell down. When it fell here, it got here, it went up, retraced a little, and broke structure and formed the lower low. But then I saw it keep going down, but it went back up, and then you can see when it got here. If I put a resistance line where the first shoulder started, it will be close to where the second shoulder will peak. And then you can see that when it picked it as well, it went back up. And if I actually used to draw a line from this range, this maybe if I put a rectangle here, it will end somewhere. So can you see? Anytime you see it forming, just when you just enter, you know that it's going, it will end where this one started. And after it, remember I said there will always be a breakout to the massive side, to the other side. You can see that after it completed the head and shoulder pattern, it started falling down. It fell as low as this place. So that is all about head and shoulder pattern, guys.